Finally back, man. Welcome to the Bucket Business Podcast, episode 3. We returning after our little mini hiatus. Uh, we'll just get straight into it. The reason why we had to take a break, we were just dealing with crazy preseason schedules. I play in Kazakhstan, but I flew right into Lithuania, all my bags and everything, right into training camp. And I had no time and horrible Wi-Fi. And so we just had zero time, zero energy to put into this podcast. And we wanted to focus on our basketball careers for a little bit and make sure that we have the time to bring you all some good content and a good episode. But we're finally settled in to our seasons. And we're excited, man. How you feeling, X? Talk to the people. Tell us a little bit about how your preseason's been going.
Man, it's been going. It's been going. That's for sure. It's been one of a kind preseasons for me for sure. Um, Came here, during the summer. My body was feeling good. Nothing too bad, and I was lifting a lot of weights, trying to get strong, get ready for season. But I had this little kink in my knee a little bit, so it was kind of bothering me a little bit. I didn't think anything much of it though. I didn't think it was going to turn into what it was. And when I got here to preseason, it just kept getting worse and worse every day. And I remember one time I tried to make a move to the basket, I tried to jump, and I couldn't even leave the floor. So that kind of put a shock in my head and kind of like opened my eyes, like, oh, like, all right, this is serious. So um, yeah, it was definitely difficult to start the season off. Um, after after I knew I needed to rest and strengthen my knee. I also ended up coming in contact with someone who had COVID, and I had to kind of do rehab on my own for like 7 to 10 days. Um, and with any business, this puts worry in, the GMs and the coaching staff's head about whether I'll be able to play for the season. So um, it was definitely a lot this early preseason. It was definitely something that, was hard for me. And I'm happy that I'm happy where I'm at because, this team really cares about their players. So I was able to have like a doctor on hand, one chiropractor doctor on hand. I had a physical therapist. I had a lot of access to a lot of stuff that, if I was playing on a lower level team, I might not be able to play my first game back yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'm super blessed, super grateful for all this. So it's been going great, man. So far, I've been having a smile on my face, staying positive. So yeah,
At least you made it through. It could have
yeah.
been worse.
Could have been worse. I could have been sent home. Could have been thinking about, hey, like, is my career over? Like, because when you go to jump and you can't leave the ground, that's a whole different feeling. That's a whole
Right.
different feeling. So I was like basketball's based on so much explosion, or specifically my game is for sure. Based on being able to adjust in the air and stuff and finish. And me not being able to do my go to moves and stuff was hard. So
Yeah.
it's been woo, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Uh, my preseason was kind of rough. Like I said, I flew right into Lithuania, and
Right.
we basically we played a game every other day, including one time we played a back to back. And I was in shape when I showed up, but I was like that typical preseason shape where you need a little bit to get going, and we basically hit the ground sprinting, playing games every other day against decent competition. So I was getting in shape while playing the games, thrown right into the fire. And, you know, the best way to put it, I wasn't performing as good as I thought I was going to be, just trying to get in the swing of things. And it was a little bit of pressure on me, to just perform better, even though it's early in the season. Everybody wants to see their guys play better, put up some numbers, and So it was a little rough. It was a little rough. I won't lie, but we finally got into the swing of things. I got my body back, got my legs back. It's the most important thing. So I'm feeling good now. Finally made it to Kazakhstan and got to settle in my apartment. Felt like I wasn't there for half a month. Those 2 weeks was long as hell. But we here now. Um, how's uh how's COVID where you're at? What's the situation like?
Um, COVID here, I think is I don't know. I don't know to be honest, like if it's going up or down, but it doesn't seem to be too much panic in the city. A lot of people here are vaccinated. A lot of people are doing their part to, stay safe. No matter what, vaccinated or not, everyone comes into any closed space or small space with masks on. Um, just simple stuff like that to help keep everyone safe and keep everyone, just trying to just calm down the COVID. Um, so
Did you
it's
get
it's okay.
did you get vaccinated?
I did get vaccinated. It was a decision that was kind of tough on me because in the beginning I definitely didn't want to get vaccinated. I just kind of wanted to, see how it plays out because even with the vaccination, it's not a cure.
Yeah.
It's just to stop one strand, but then there's three, four other strands out there. So you have to, it's kind of like well, what are we really doing?
Hmm.
But for me, it was I decided to get it just because I know that I wouldn't want to be the reason someone else got COVID and could pass away and die from it. So I decided to make a to
Yeah.
get COVID. To get COVID to get the vaccine and
To get COVID.
I decided to get the vaccine so I can try and help solve this issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
What about you?
where I'm at in Sultan, Kazakhstan, the numbers got kind of high. I think they're on a surge right now, but there's no lockdown, nothing crazy happening right now. Um, I did get vaccinated right when I got back from last year, early, say about towards the end of June. I was the same way as you. I wasn't first in line to get it. Really didn't want
Right.
to, but I kind of got it for my family. I was staying with my in-laws, and they're uh, they're at risk, So I
Right.
wanted to have an active summer. I wanted to go out and make moves, and I didn't, I wouldn't ever forgive myself if I came back and gave them COVID. So it was kind of
Right.
a decision for my family. But I mean, I'm not going to force anybody to get it. I have close friends that haven't got it. You got to understand the pros and cons and live with it on your own. You know, so that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at about it. I'm not gonna die on that hill about it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. How do you feel about getting it now that you got it? Like, do you feel relieved? Are you more, um, is it like whatever to you? Like, what's
Um,
the thoughts?
when I first got it, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little invincible, just joking around, but I still follow all the protocols. I wear my mask where everyone's supposed to. Um, Now I don't feel so invincible. I feel like maybe I have like a little extra layer of protection.
Right.
I've actually been in some situations this summer where I've gone out with friends and all of my unvaccinated friends came back with COVID from that event. I had some friends that had ended up in the hospital from it actually, and I was completely fine. So, coincidence maybe. I'm not the scientist. I can't break down the numbers to you, but it's one of those things where you're like, hey, everybody who was vaccinated, we all went out. We didn't get it. The unvaccinated, they did. So,
Right.
those were one of those examples where I'm like, damn, maybe I am a little bit protected, but I'm not going out and doing anything crazy or, trying to put COVID to the test or anything like that.
Right. I feel it. I feel it. So what's up? Tell me about the preseason. I know you got thrown into the fire and everything, and I was kind of the same way as well with me. Right after I got quarantined, So um, tell me how the games went. Tell me what kind of your practice schedule's been like and everything like that.
The preseason games were rough. We were losing a lot, but it was kind of just because we were trying to learn each other as a team, learn the plays, if anything. Like I said, we practiced and then played the next day, so it was just an ongoing process. Now I feel like we're good. We're getting better as a team. Um, we started season last week. We had a big win against one of the top teams in Europe, and we just played last night, and we lost by 3 to a respectable team in the league. So I think now that we've been proven to ourselves that we can compete with a lot of teams in this league, and I would say it's a good confidence boost. So I'm pretty confident where we are right now. So you played your first game this weekend, right?
Yeah. So yeah. Well, before that, as soon as I got off quarantine, we had our Super Cup. So it was 3 games. I don't know. It was it was hard for me, you know. Um, we had 3 games in like 5 days. So we were playing every other day. It was hard. I'm still injured. So basically they tried to use the Super Cup to like give an evaluation for me and see how I'm healing up and stuff, and everything's just such short notice. So I'm having to play hard and everything and try and balance out like my mental where I'm like, okay, like if I jump again on my knee, is it gonna lock again? So I think the biggest thing for me has been my mental and um trying to just balance that out because what I didn't want to happen is for my knee to lock again. So I definitely wanted to, you know, be safe and be cautious because my mindset isn't on the Super Cup. It's going to be on making sure I'm ready for the first game of the season. So I was able to play. I played the first game good. I put up good numbers and stuff. And then after that, I kind of chilled and relaxed. And then, and I didn't play my best games. The
Yeah.
next 2 games weren't my best, but it was good. But it put a lot of doubt in my coaches and team's heads for sure about me. So
Do you
yeah,
now that you're coming into year 6 as a pro, do you
yeah.
feel like you got that vet tag? Like, how do you feel? How you feel coming in?
I always think that I'm getting older, and then there's someone just like 2 or 3 players on my team that are just older than me. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm always just like, you know what? Like, I guess I'm not there yet. Maybe when I hit 30, I'll start to feel that burden a little bit. Like, okay, I'm 30 now. Like, okay, maybe I get that tag. But until then, I don't know. I still feel like I still got a lot of spring in my legs. I still got a lot of things I can still develop into and everything like that. So, what about for you?
Yeah, I don't know if I call it the vet. I definitely feel seasoned.
Yeah,
I don't got that OG status yet, but now I'm at the point of my career where when I go into a situation, I kind of know what to expect. My first few years in Europe, I was always a little anxious coming over because I'm like, man, like I know I could hoop, but can I hoop in this league at this level of competition, or how are these guys going to play? But now, I played many different leagues, many different levels, and I kind of already have an expectation of what's going to come. And now it's the same now, just at a higher level. So I haven't really come across anything that's a surprise. So I feel like I'm somewhere in between, almost a vet, where your experience starts adding on and it finally starts paying off. But I definitely feel like I have a whole new level that I could tap into. I'm still trying to add on to my game, and in order to get to the places that I'm trying to go, I got to keep developing that. So,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like I am right now.
Okay. I feel that. I feel that for sure. So as far as just understanding your game, elaborate on that. Tell me like what you think your game is, and because for sure when you get to these years, year 5, year 6, you really start to understand yourself and what you can and can't do, or what you're good at and what you're not so good at. So tell me, break down yourself for me.
At this point in my career, I know, like, I'm confident. I know exactly what I'm gonna bring. I know I can get you a double double. I'm gonna play defense. I'm gonna finish around the rim. I'm gonna put up solid, consistent numbers. That's something that I've done for the majority of my career, and I'm confident with that. It doesn't matter what situation you put me in, if it's in my favor or not. You're gonna always see that part of my game. I feel like where I'm at in my career, I'm confident where if I never improve on anything again, I'm still going to be successful. I might not, if I don't ever improve on anything right now, I might not reach the levels that I want to. I might not reach the highest levels, but I have enough in my game right now where I'm gonna be okay somewhere. But I don't walk around with that mentality of being content. I'm
Right.
never satisfied. I always want to get better. I just feel like it's okay when you reach a certain point in your career to be confident in the kind of player that you are, and know in your head, I'm gonna do this every night, because doing that's gonna help you add on to your game, because you know who you are and you know what you need to work on. If I'm working on step back 3 pointers, that's not my game. So I'm not gonna work on that. I might play around and do it a few times in the summer, but I'm not going to do it, work on the dribble, tween, spin, step back 3 pointer, because that's not what I'm going to do. Because like I said, with my experience, I know where I'm at on the court. I know the kind of opportunities I'm going to get. So
Right.
I just kind of add on to those opportunities. So yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna bring to the game, and I'm pretty confident in the kind of player that I am right now. How about you?
For me, I'm definitely understanding my game a lot more. Um, I felt like I was when I was playing in G League. I felt like I was one player, but now I feel like I'm a completely different player.
Hmm.
And I feel like my confidence has grown. I feel like I'm still developing different parts of my game as well. Just because last year I was put in a position where I had to do so many things I wasn't used to. And by me doing those and continuously doing them, it kind of opened my eyes, like, oh, like I can do this. So do I feel like I have a few go-to moves, of course. I know my game, where I know where I can score and how to score and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm still kind of on surprising myself, I guess I should say. Being able to do different things and being able to be efficient when I do those. So I mean, I feel like I feel like I'm still on the rise. I feel like I'm still developing my game, but at the same time I'm sharpening everything else that I've already acquired. So
Would you say that you're in your prime right now in terms of age?
um
In terms
I
of
would say I would say I'm around there. I'm definitely around my prime for sure. It's especially with this knee injury that I came in with. That kind of humbled me a lot. This preseason, you'd be like, okay, like damn, like I'm getting a little older for sure. It was weird, but I was like, like me being able not to jump, I was like, okay, like now we gotta focus on rehab, and stuff like that. So yeah, I can say I'm in my prime, but I feel like I still got like a lot more years in my prime too. So
yeah.
definitely. Do you work on any part of what are you working on your game that maybe you don't like necessarily do in the game that much, but you wanna show that you can do?
I work a lot on my shooting in the off season. You know that. Obviously, we've been working out together for what, 4 or 5 years or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I, I,
yeah,
I work a lot on my mid range, a lot of looks out the post. Sometimes I get the opportunity to do it in the games, and sometimes I don't. I feel like it's always important to have other tools in your bag that you can sharpen. So
Right.
when you do get the opportunity, you don't get caught off guard. So I just kind of adapt to whatever situation I'm in, and I don't really want to step too far out of my lane. Uh, I guess our situations are different because I've been on teams, especially lately, of higher level where I just have a like specific role and I stick to it, and I have to sacrifice certain parts of my game where I can showcase skill, but I can still be successful, if I completely commit to a certain role. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and I've been finding success in that. So I find myself just being able to adapt to any kind of situation thrown at me.
Gotcha. I feel it. I feel it for sure. I guess with me, I guess what I'm probably working on most is shooting off the dribble. Being able to. I know I can dribble and get to the rim. I know I can spot up and shoot threes. So I think the next part of my game is working on being consistent shooter off the dribble and being consistent. Being consistent and effective. For sure.
Working on
So
that tween step back. That's fun.
yeah, yeah. Nothing crazy. Just a
I,
little in and out cross.
I
Hit
feel
him
you.
with the stop. you know. So just to show them I can do it, consistently. So
Yeah,
yep. So it's going good. It's going good so far, man. I just honestly feel blessed that I'm, able to play the game again. Because for sure, I was getting worried.
it gets scary when you can't jump how he thought you
Yeah,
could for
it
a
gets
second.
scary, man. Yeah, I was like, man, like, how long is this gonna last? Like, am I gonna heal right? Like all that stuff creeps into your head. You got, the coaches thinking this and that. I'm just like, damn, like, am I going to be, is this it? Is this the last year? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to Verona for, supporting me for sure.
would you would you feel like that you like in your experiences that you gain respect from your peers and your overall knowledge of the game?
This past year, I would say most definitely, like I can attest to that's the only reason I'm still probably playing with this team because like I said, I don't know if I said it to you on or off recording, but the higher you go up, the less room for error. The less room for error. They expect you to be ready when you come off the preseason. They're ready for you to do this and do that. So if you're not doing this and do that, and they got the budget for it, they gonna remove you. Players get traded out every other day. And the higher you go up, the you might get traded off. You might touch down, have one practice, and they might not like you, and they might send you back
Yeah,
already. So I think definitely um, by me having a great season last year, in this league, I was able to, put faith in the president of the team, the owner of the team, and the GMs to be like, okay, like obviously he's not performing where we want him to perform right now, but we know what he's capable of, and thank God that my MRI and when they go see the doctor specialist, everyone said that it was nothing serious and it was just going to take some time to heal. So you know they decided to keep me. I could have been waived because if I feel like I played in a different league, like if I went to like Israel or Germany and I had the same thing, I might I might not even be playing basketball right now. I might be at home rehabbing and something like
hmm
that. So I can definitely attest to, having respect around my name, in Italy. So hopefully I can, have another good year this year and, stay away from injuries again and
yeah. What
keep
about
moving forward.
how about respect from like your like peers back home in terms of like, is anybody come to you about like some advice about other leagues or the game, or is your name
Um,
is your name still hold some respect back home basically?
yeah, definitely, I went to a prestigious high school and everything, so my name definitely still rings bells from that.
Why the day not that prestigious?
Martin is the most prestigious school in Southern California for basketball, for
Right,
sure.
thanks.
But it was, but yeah, I definitely got some people out there that still know that, I'm a hooper, I'm a killer, and that's the respect part of it. As far as them knowing what I've done overseas, I'm sure it's not the biggest highlights. Everyone over in the states is focused on the NBA and everything like that. There's only certain people that know like high level basketball overseas.
Yeah,
So it's it's kind of a just the same way it is in the U.S. The U.S. the news focuses on U.S. stuff. Here and there they'll show stuff happening in Israel and Germany and France. But most of the time, it's just about stuff that's happening inside the U.S. So it's kind of the same way it is for the basketball world. So,
yeah.
but it's getting a lot more exposure for sure. Especially if you get to Euroleague and Champions League and stuff like that, where it's big money. It's big money now. You can make NBA contracts in in Euroleague and Champions League for sure. So you just gotta,
Sure.
you know. So the respect part, they know I'm hooping. I don't know how much they know what I'm doing or how much they care. I mean, I don't really care if they don't know either. So it's just hey, I'm just here to do my job. Have fun with it. What about you?
Uh, I feel like, in terms of like the European market, my name it's starting to bubble a little bit. People are talking about me. I'm starting to get a higher demand. But now that I'm reaching that next level, you know, I'm, I'm in the leagues with ex NBA guys, top European players. So coming into like a league like this, the VTV, in my first year, I'm a nobody, which I have no problem with. I'm kind of proud of that. Because I'm coming in a league with a bunch of somebodies, and I don't have a name that holds weight versus other names. So kind of like when you start from the bottom and your name starts to build up, and then when you break into that door and reach that next level, you start all the way back from zero. So right now I feel like I'm at zero, which is fine with me. And
Right.
in a couple years, we'll look back and they'll be like, damn, he came from a nobody. Now everybody knows his name. God willing, everything goes as planned. So I feel like every year I just have to keep proving who I am and what I do to get that respect. I
No
don't feel
doubt.
like I don't know if I would have if I don't feel like I'm being disrespected as much right now. It's just you got to earn your way. You got to earn respect for sure. Especially if
Right.
you want to keep leveling up. And as far as back home, I would say for the ones that are tuned in to me, I get a little bit of respect. I think I've said it on the past episodes. I've had young guys reach out to me and ask me about leagues or this or that, and I'm pretty knowledgeable about what's going on over here. Uh, I don't know if it's because they see me do it or just because I got a few years under my belt, but I try to align myself with a lot of stuff that's going on overseas, a lot of the teams, a lot of the leagues, just to have some kind of idea what's going on because this is our career. So
Right.
like in the league I'm playing in, I've been following this league on Instagram for years. Even before they even knew who I was, just because I wanted to align myself with them. I wanted to like I visually saw myself playing in this league. So, when I get a call from a team now, I'm like, oh, I know a little something about y'all. I've seen y'all on my timeline for years, so
Right. Right.
I
For
always try
sure.
to,
For sure.
yeah, I always try to keep my knowledge up about what's going on. And, I guess it's attracting because I definitely get a lot of people hitting me up and respect and, showing their respects about what's going on for sure.
Yeah. So I feel that. you definitely made a key point when you said, you know, you play in one league, you get respect, but if you switch leagues, you might not get the same respect for sure. Whether you're going up or down in your career, So I definitely feel like that's a major point where it's like, yeah, like I'm making headlines in Italy, I'm doing good in Italy, but it's like, okay, if I go to Germany or if I go to Israel, it's like, am I starting from zero? You know what I'm saying? Like how much weight will my name hold? So it's like I definitely feel you on that for sure, and feel you on what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's a compliment, really. When you're coming from nothing, you didn't go to the NBA, and you
right,
busting through these doors, getting to the next level, and you just got to
right,
build up on that respect. It's a compliment when somebody calls you a nobody or nobody
for sure.
recognizes you because they're like, damn, how he get here?
Right,
No
exactly.
no cheat codes, didn't jump any lines, really put in
Right.
that work.
Yeah, put in the work, put in the work, put in that earning your name is so I feel like it's so much better than just, have stuff given to you, like
Yeah,
cool, you went to the NBA for a little bit, you're whatever, 2 years, okay, you're overseas and you're given this opportunity from, because you went to the NBA. But it's like I just feel like it feels so much better when it's like you come from like from not from the bottom, but you come from a lower level and you work your way up to it. I feel like that just feels so much more powerful and it gives you much more pride,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It does feel satisfying when you really come from nothing and you build it up. It might have taken a little bit longer. It might have been. It might be nice to cut the line. Just to
I
make the
mean,
money.
yeah,
But
but a lot of players who cut the line be getting cut.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, it's
A lot of
guys that
players now,
it's guys that come
hey,
over here who think it's like we said before. They think it's sweet
yeah, they think it's
because
sweet over here.
because it was
Hey,
sweet in
NBA players
America.
getting yeah, NBA players getting cut too.
Yeah,
Especially like I used to see like they was always used to have the NBA players coming to EuroLeague and stuff. Now I'm seeing NBA players coming to A2 basketball. They come into Syria. They come into lower level basketball. It's not all about that nowadays. Just knowing that just because you went to the NBA, you think you're just gonna play in the EuroLeague. Like
for
that's not
real.
that's not the case or at all
Yeah,
at all.
and
I
there's
see all
guys
kind of stuff,
and there's guys that's
it's
in
not
Euro.
guaranteed.
There's guys that's in EuroLeague that are heavyweights that never touched the NBA.
Right,
Who
right.
started who started D2, worked their way
Yeah,
all the way up, and who are
yeah,
solidified.
exactly.
And
Crazy
yeah, those
stuff.
kind of guys that they take
Yeah,
pride in it.
yeah. There's all different kind of roads, There's all different kind of pathways to get to where you want to get, but don't think anything is guaranteed.
It's not.
Nothing is guaranteed. That's why I found out this year that a contract is hey,
Even when it's guaranteed, it ain't guaranteed.
yeah, even when it's guaranteed, it's not guaranteed. People, you can be released.
Because
You can be
I done been
released,
on
man.
guaranteed contracts where it wasn't feeling so guaranteed, and I ended up off the team, whether it was my choice or not. They'll
Right,
they'll
exactly.
yeah,
So it's definitely
they'll find a way to
hey,
non-guarantee it real quick. Everybody find a loophole.
for sure. So don't think that everything is just going to be easy because you have a name to yourself either. You gotta put in the work. You gotta show them. You gotta show them, hey, physically show them that hey, you can do this. You about it. And you about business. If you don't, they are thinking about the next 2 3 guys they can sign. So something
For
you gotta
real.
keep in mind. All right.
All right,
What's the
so
next topic? What we got next?
so for those who've been following us, y'all seen we always ask, uh, what should we talk about? You know, what do you want us to cover? We've asked a few times, and we're gonna stick on one of the things a couple of people asked. They were asking about mental health. How do we deal with it? What kind of situations have we been through? Because a lot of us, all professional athletes, overseas, NBA, any kind of sport, everybody deals with their own kind of situations. Everybody has stories. not everybody has the platform to be able to share their story. So a lot of times, even either we share with our inner circle or we just take it to the grave, take it to the chin, because that's what we're taught to do. So, for this section, I'm gonna let X go first, and I want you to just share a story about how you were going through something in your career and how you overcame it mentally.
So, I mean, for me, I can't complain too much about my career, honestly, so far. I've been I've been blessed with a lot of good opportunities and a lot of supporting people around me. But I guess basketball wise, mentally would be when I was playing in the G League. Um, it was definitely a weird situation, but it was hard mentally for sure. So when I first left out of college, the first thing I wanted to do was go overseas. I didn't really want to play in the G League. I was going to play for this team in Ludwigsburg, Germany. But people kept telling me the coach was crazy and he does this and that. And it was kind of a funny situation. So I didn't end up playing for them. But so then during that time that I was in Ludwigsburg, the first draft for the G League happened. So I missed that opportunity. So second, I'm on the second draft now. If I don't know how it worked exactly, but it was like a week or two later, they did a second draft for the G League, so I was able to be drafted, and so I was already coming to a team that was already basically full, had a full roster basically. So I was like second pickup and stuff, for the team. And when I got there, they were already practicing. I'm already late coming in the gym, so I gotta prove myself from the day one when I get there and gotta be ready to go. So when I'm there, I am, just trying to work my way in. And if everyone knows G League basketball, I was playing for the Texas Legends, which is in Dallas, and it's like one of the most, I want to say prestigious, but it's definitely one of a very nice facility, very nice, um, area to live in. It's in Frisco, Texas, and we share a facility with the practice facility with the Dallas Cowboys. So, and a whole training facility above us. We had a whole Gatorade center. We had a whole hospital above that, so it was definitely like a place to go to. So on our team, we had, we had two ways, an affiliate player, and two or three ex NBA players or NBA players that touched the league, plus players that came from other teams, that because not every team has a G League team. So we had teams that I think we partnered with the Trailblazers. So we had a lot of different players come through and, had to come down and play in the G League just to get some run and stuff like that. So me mentally was, I think I'm fresh out of college, so I know what I can do. I know I can hoop, stuff like that. I can hoop with anyone. It doesn't matter. So I'm playing and stuff, and I'm not getting that many shots in the game, and I'm trying to work on my game and stuff and do this and do that. And it's a, it's kind of like just a different level, not so much basketball wise, but just like mentally, just not being able to be the go-to man anymore, because there's players that politically are above you. So they have to shoot the shots. They have to do this. They got to do that. So it was, it was hard. So, for me to be able to start and still play, it was amazing. Like it looked good on paper, but it was really hard for me mentally because I had to, I knew I wasn't going to shoot that many shots. My stats weren't going to look that good. So what I had to do mentally was switch from a player who thought he was going to be the go-to man to now being a player that if I want to see the floor, I got to play defense. I got to play defense and I got to make threes, and I didn't shoot the ball so well, stuff like that. So I figured I was like, okay, I'll be defense and rebounding, and throw the ball, set good screens, shoot the open shot, Um, so I was able to, kind of really change my mental to being able to be like, okay, I'm a different player now,
Hmm.
and I have for me to see the floor, I'm gonna have to do stuff I wasn't really used to. Not saying I wasn't used to playing defense, but just only playing defense for like a whole game, and shooting only those open shots you get like 4 or 5 a game,
Yeah.
and some games when some games I would have a good game where I scored 20 points, my mental would go up, and then the next day they want to bring in a player from an affiliate team, and then he's in your position, and then you don't get to play but 5 minutes the next game. So it's definitely really really hard to be able to mentally stay focused in the G League, especially if you have no tag with your name. If you're not an affiliate or two way, where they have to play 30 minutes and they can shoot whatever shot they want, and being able to still start with players like that, and being able to run with them was an accomplishment to me, kind of, but still it kind of like hurt my game, where I was like losing a lot of confidence in my skill set. I wasn't really confident when I was dribbling the ball, stuff like that. So for me to be able to, come overseas and kind of get back to that and get back to my game and everything like that it was hard. It was definitely hard. So yeah, it's been a process for sure. So that was definitely one of my most hard mental things I've done in my career. And, you know, I'm glad that, you know, it's over.
Would you say,
Yeah.
would you say changing your mindset, how you did it kind of helped you be kind of the player who you are now to be able to mentally adapt in a tough
Oh,
situation?
no doubt, no doubt. Every year is gonna be a little different, for you for basketball. It's just gonna be, like one year you might be required to do this and do that, and the next year you might have to do less, or they just want you to just do this. And the higher you go up, the more specific your role will be, for sure for
Uh,
basketball. When you start playing in like Champions League, or you start playing in Euro League, for sure. Like if your job is to shoot the ball, your job is to shoot the ball. They don't need you to go get rebounds, and they don't need you to do this and do that. You have specific assignments, and that's the way the NBA works as well too.
hmm
If you're a shooter, you shoot. If you rebound, you rebound. If you dunk, you dunk. And then there's the players that are going to be the top players that have to score 30 points a game and get 8 rebounds and 10 rebounds and stuff like that. So, but you have to know your role, for sure when you get to the higher level. But before you get to the higher level, you got to prove yourself as, being able to a player who can do it all, who can play defense, who can score, who can block shots. You got to show people that you can do it all. Because if you
Yeah.
get to a higher level and you don't perform, like we already said, you could be on a chop board. You could be on a chopping board. You can get cut quick.
Quick,
So
real quick.
get cut quick. So being able to demonstrate what you can do early on in your game is helpful for sure. Because I know players that how can I say this? I've seen players that are really good at basketball and they play at a high level, but they don't do anything at the high level, and they don't have anywhere to progress in their game or anything. But like they say, it's like, oh, okay, I'm playing in a high level. I'm playing in Euro Cup or Champions League, but it's like you're not. You're just another player, and there's like a balance. There's a balance in your game where you have to understand that it's like coaches and GMs only see what you show them. So if you're playing at a lower level and you're hooping and you're killing and you can show that you can do these things, that's great. Because so when it transfers to the upper level, they know what you can do. Where as far as they want to stick you in a box and be like, okay, your job is only defending a rebound,
Yeah.
So you have to be able to not always, and this is kind of my mental thing this year too, for sure, was not always jumping at the biggest and best opportunity, because it's like I just said, like you have to kind of put a balance where it's like yeah, I can score the ball. I can do this and do that for you as well. I just showed you that, and the coaches need to see that. You can't just go and, be like, okay, I'm a good agent. Okay, I'm gonna play for this team, so I'm gonna, expect, oh, I expect to do this and do that. That doesn't always translate for you to make even more the next year, or people think they're going to want you for the next year, because if you go and you play and you score 5 points a game and get 4 rebounds, that's not going to look really that good to teams the following year.
Yeah,
So I think it's a balancing thing where you have to, like, yeah, you're playing for a good team, but it's like you're not doing anything. So it's like you're replaceable. So like you don't want to be a player that feels like you can just be put on the chopping board. You want to make an impact on the game every time you play. So it's a balancing act for sure. You definitely want to. I don't know. It's a lot to basketball. People don't know. There's a lot to basketball where mental stuff just comes in, and yeah, for sure. All
yeah.
right, I'm done talking. Go ahead. It's you.
No, that was a
Your
good
turn.
story. That was a good story. That was real shit right there. Um,
Yeah.
my story is kind of like yours, but very different. It was in the G League. Um, this was my second year to paint
Hmm.
the scene. I was coming off my first year, and it was like 8.5, almost 9 months without a job. Uh, I had switched agents late in the process. I had a deal for First Division Italy that it went from like a trial deal to like a 1 year deal to like a 2 year deal to nothing, all within like 4 days. And it was quiet all the way up until, so it was quiet the whole time. And then around mid-November, towards the end of November, I was just like, I got to play somewhere. I was like you, I didn't want to play in the G League at all.
Right.
There wasn't anything that, attracted me to it. But I had a kid on the way, and I'm going 8 months without a paycheck. I need to make money at this point. So I make myself in the available players pool. I get picked up like next day, and for the Indiana Pacers G League, the Mad Ants, fresh off
Right.
like any y'all who play 2K when your my player went to the Mad Ants, it was like that a little bit. So I get picked up quick. I talk to the GM. He's excited to have me. I'm looking at the roster. I'm like, cool. It's no bigs on the team. It's like an undersized 4 man, and there's only one big man, but he was on the NBA team, so he gets called up and down. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, it's a perfect situation for me. I didn't think I was
Right.
gonna get called up by an NBA team or anything, but I'm like, okay, I'll be able to play, put up some numbers or
Right.
whatever, get some film, and try again next year, to go back overseas. So, long story short, I end up not playing at all. Like, I was like the bottom of the bench kind of guy, like the guy that they like have come in before the games and like play 3-on-3 and work out really hard because you're not about to get in this game. And this was the first time in my career where I rode the bench like this. Uh, I started most of my career, always played in the big games, never had to worry about being a bench guy. And now I'm in a whole different situation. Even to my first year overseas, when I was in Asia, I'm the star of the team. And now I'm
Right.
somebody where I felt like I wasn't important. And it messed with my head a lot because everything started to add up. I'm like, man, how come I can't get a job all these months? And then I do get a job and they don't want to play me. And my confidence was all over the place. I felt like my first year, I felt like I was coming into my own finally as an offensive player. And now I feel like all of that was for nothing. Like, I'm not important, nobody needs me, and maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe I hyped myself up a little too much. And I was
Right.
I was fighting depression a little bit. I didn't post on social media. I didn't even get a haircut for like half the season because
Okay.
I was so messed up mentally. I was ashamed to be in the G League, and I was even more ashamed to not even be playing. And
Right.
I was questioning my worth. And one of the turning points for me was, how like there's always speakers that come talk to the teams, and
Right.
one guy came and talked to us, and he was like, "Hey, I know you guys probably don't want to be in this situation. Nobody ever really sees himself playing in the G League. But, I want to remind you there's a guy working at the grocery store right now who will drop everything he has to trade positions with you." And when he said that, it really hit me. I was like, damn, here I am sitting ungrateful. Don't want to post anything. Don't want to let anybody even know that I'm in the G League. And he's absolutely
Right.
right. I know everybody knows a handful of guys at home with 9 to 5s that will literally leave everything behind just to be riding that bench, just to be able to put on a G League jersey.
Right.
And that changed my whole mindset. And from there, I basically told myself that I'm not going to let this situation define me as a player. I started competing harder in practice because we played a lot. I just tried to change my mental where I would force myself to be in a better mood. I'm in the snow. It's cold as hell. Like it was hurt to go outside. There was nothing fun about being in that town. But
Right.
mentally, I had to shift my mind to I'm blessed to be here. Regardless of the situation, and I know I'm better than this situation. So,
Right.
I stopped soaking around. I started working harder, competing in practice every day. I wouldn't say I was just killing everybody every day, but I had more good practices than bad for sure. And I just knew like I'm bigger than this situation. And I had been trying to get traded for months, and I finally got traded for the last 10 games of the season to the Clippers. So I was back home. Uh, I and I ended up almost averaging a double double and 1.5 blocks. And that was kind of like my confirmation of like, yeah, I was bigger than that situation. That
Right.
I was just in a bad spot and it happens. And for like the majority of my career, I felt like I was always in a good position. And this was like my first little taste of business where you're somewhere you don't really want to be and things aren't going in your favor, but you can't second guess who you are as a player. And
Right.
me changing my mindset, I was able to excel when I got put in a better position and was given the opportunity. I took advantage of every opportunity that was given to me. So, that was something that kind of boosted my confidence and kind of propelled me into the rest of my career because I just I wasn't gonna let one bad situation hold me down mentally, and I've been able to overcome any situation since then.
Awesome. That's dope. That's good to hear, man. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people think, basketball is always like just given to people and that we should always just be grateful. But, it's hard sometimes when people don't give you the love, for basketball, when you don't get the love you want or expect, and people that stuff gets to you mentally for sure. I've definitely been in that situation and where you think something and then people think something else and you're not playing the way you want. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that stuff. I definitely feel you.
Is
So,
there uh is there
but we can't.
something that you do right now to stay mentally balanced when
I mean, for
feeling
me,
kind of rough?
mentally balanced, I would. I if I'm not playing basketball, I try not to think too much about it. Obviously, if I have a bad game and stuff like that, it's gonna harp on me a little bit. But other than that, I really just kind of focus on like now in my life, I try and focus on ways of how I can make my money double outside of basketball. where it's not so much like I don't need to rely on basketball anymore. I want to I want to use it as a platform to, help my family and see how far I can take it and everything, but it's not something that I have to rely on and feel like I need to I need to use to like to be okay in this world, for sure, it's basketball can take you places. And the best part about it is the people you meet when you play, and if you talk to the right people, you can have a great life for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So it's just about for me. So mentally, I mean, I'm facing my baby boy every day. Making sure he's good, and he helps me take the mental off. For sure. And I'm always researching finances and researching different stuff to help me excel in this world. For sure. So it's been great. It's been a blessing. I think my son definitely has opened my eyes to a lot more things and just basketball and the stuff I used to do before, where I used to just buy designer clothes and shoes and all that stuff with my money, for sure. So now I'm definitely focused more on generational wealth and just trying to be great for him and be great for my family. So yeah. What about you? Do anything regular on the regular to help you
Um,
mentally?
I started meditating. I started it during quarantine, but fell off.
Okay.
And coming into last year, I picked it back up because in the beginning of the year, I was kind of in a I wasn't in the best place mentally. I was kind of up and down. I was in a good situation basketball wise, but with like we said, like COVID affected the market financially. So I was making money, but I had to take a pay cut, and I felt like in that moment in my career, I was supposed to be somewhere bigger, somewhere better. Everybody's congratulating me, and I was blessed, but it was one of those things. Just like I know I'm supposed to be somewhere better. So
Right.
I was like, man, I need to find something to ease my mind. So I started looking up meditations and affirmations, and the first one I looked at, it had me repeat a bunch of affirmations, and one of the things that it said was, uh, "I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be." And I'm like, damn, like I didn't search up something specific or anything like that, but for me to be feeling how I felt, and for the first thing I search up for it to tell me that in that moment, like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. It helped change my mindset, and it helped kept me balanced. And that's kind of what I told myself every day last year. I put it on my home screen. So every time I open on my phone, that's the first thing I see, and I just burned it in my brain. So anytime where I would start to dip mentally, I would always remind myself, there's no rush in where I'm supposed to be in life. This is where I'm supposed to be. And like I said before in other episodes, ended up being one of the best years of my career. So now I meditate before every game. I should do it every day. It's something I'm still trying to catch on to, but it helps me silence the noise. When you're dealing with a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
bunch of BS that's going on. It gives me 10 minutes of silence to be able to realign my thoughts and everything.
Well, definitely. That's and in your career, we're obviously, both making more money and more income and stuff. And there's always a theme that goes around saying, people with more money shouldn't be depressed, or have mental stress, what do you believe in that? Is that something that you think is a myth? You think because people have rich, they don't have any problems, stuff like that. Tell me what
I
you think.
mean, we're in 2021, and there's been hundreds of, not thousands of people going on record, rich people going on record saying money doesn't change anything. You can afford to buy the material things. You can afford to take care of your family. That's the part that makes you feel good, and you can have fun, but you know it doesn't fix the actual mental issues. So I absolutely do believe that you can be financially well off and still deal with something mentally. You know,
Yeah.
everybody has their own issues for sure. But I don't think just because you have money and you can afford to buy what you want, you can't be depressed. If you have all the money in the world, but if your relationship with your father is off, or if your best friend just got killed, there's not anything that money can do to fix a situation like that. What do you
Right.
think?
I agree with you for sure. If you're mentally unstable, having more money or less money isn't gonna change the fact that you're mentally unstable. Or if you're going through things, people always say like they always say, more money, more problems for sure. And a lot of people that are rich are either the money's coming from somewhere, and a lot of people that became rich is because they took risks. And those risks aren't easy. It's definitely where you put your money in somewhere, you're hoping to invest, you're hoping to get some return, but a lot of times it doesn't always work out that way. And when you're risking your own money and you're putting all your eggs in one basket, that can cause a lot of stress on you mentally for sure, especially when things go wrong. So being able to, yeah, being able to balance that, it's tough. It's definitely tough because I don't believe it. I think for sure, if the more money you have, the more problems. Honestly, you know,
When
especially
people
like
asking for it,
yeah, when people know you have money as well, is when people start coming out the woodworks too, asking you for this and for that, and different job opportunities that you don't know if they're shaky or not, or if they're legit, or friends asking for you for handouts and stuff like that. So being able to, you know, try and say no to a lot of people and no to a lot of things is hard. So
yeah, I definitely think mental health is real. It's not something that's addressed enough, but I feel like you have to find a balance where sometimes you got to be able to pull yourself together. I don't want to just say suck it up because it's a lot more deeper than that. But especially over here in when you're playing overseas versus when you're in the NBA. In the NBA, they're investing in you for multiple
right,
years, millions of dollars. So if you're not there mentally, okay, they're more progressive. They can work with you for a little bit, figure something out. Over here, you need immediate results. So you miss 1, 2 games, that could be a big change on your whole season. So
right,
even though mental health is absolutely real, absolutely something that needs to be addressed, there has to be some times where no, you can't skip practice because you're having a bad day or because you're not
right,
feeling it. I feel like you sometimes you have to find that ability to dig deep and be able to perform because you did sign a contract that if you're physically able to perform, you need to. Even on the days
right,
where you're not feeling it. I feel like that falls into how we're able to adjust mentally because I could bring 100 guys on this podcast who play overseas, and they can all tell you how there was times they didn't even want to be there, but they came out and scored 30, because it was their job and they had to. And I
yeah,
feel like
definitely,
the fans, just like fans everywhere, especially in America, they don't respect mental health as they should. It's starting to progress a little bit more, but they think we're just physical entertainment.
right,
They see us run, jump, shoot, and they think that's all the sport is, but they forget the fact that we're humans. We deal with human experiences. We lose loved ones. We have relationship problems. Some of us got money issues on the lower levels. Everybody has their own kind of human issues that regular fans seem to forget about, and they just think we can all just lock all that up and come out there and perform. So it's a tricky balance for sure. I would
yeah.
say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you for sure. Especially that last part. It's definitely where people just sometimes turn players that are athletes just into objects. you know, and it's an ugly situation, and that's sometimes how a lot of us get treated. Replaceable like a battery. Where you just swap us out. So it's definitely something to keep in mind and keep focused. And I guess my last thing I want to leave with is, they always have things where, in the world where you can always call someone and it's a suicide hotline and stuff when people are feeling depressed and sad and stuff. But they got to start making homicide hotlines because some people get mad and get angry just as much as they get sad and depressed. And sometimes people take their aggression out in different ways, on other people and stuff like that. So that's something definitely we should be thinking about and we should incorporate into our world for sure.
Yeah, I think I looked it up. I think it's in some places, but it's not like a universal one.
Right.
I definitely agree because most of the times people just encourage that you call 911, but you're gonna end up in jail trying,
Yeah, you're gonna call 911.
trying to talk about your
You're not.
issues with the
Yeah,
police.
you're talking to a teleprompter, basically, a person who has a script of what to say. But it's like, hey, when you feeling angry or someone's pissed you off or something like that, and you're already mentally messed up from something else, we gotta figure out a way to call people. So, because there's
Yeah,
been too many crazy killings in the world and too much craziness going on, and this
yeah,
COVID ain't helping that either.
for real. That's a
So,
delicate situation.
yeah, for sure. Anything else, man?
Man, I'm good. Uh, I just want to thank anybody who's been listening this far, episode 3. Anybody who's been following us, reposting, liking, watching the videos. We just want to say we appreciate y'all support. We brand new at this, brand new. We're still learning. We're probably not as active as we should be, but we're growing. Y'all growing with us, so for it to get the kind of views that we're getting, we're appreciative. We're not getting crazy numbers, but the fact that more than one person is listening is great. We hopefully by the time this comes out, we got over 100 followers. We got like 98 right now, but that's
Yeah,
without like any hashtags, any crazy spam posting or anything. It's all been organic. So you know,
organic.
yeah. So if I could say organically, there's 100 people that mess with us and want to hear what we're talking about, then I'm appreciative of that. I know X is as well. So appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
for sure.
Hopefully we can start spinning out these episodes a little bit more consistently now that we have a stable situation going on.
Yeah, yeah, and does everyone understand that? Definitely, even me and Skylar right now are on different time zones. And people back home are on even different time zones than us. So we're doing this globally. This ain't
It's
no
tough.
sit at home and sit in the U.S. and we're an hour apart now. We're 6 hours, 9 hours
Me
apart from different people
yeah.
all over the world. So
Me
hopefully
and
y'all can understand that it's not easy.
me and X, so
It's real.
everybody knows, me and X, we're 4 hours apart right now.
Yeah,
And we were able to get this episode off because we just so happened to have an off day. But we
yeah,
actively try. We send each other our schedules, but it's hard when you got 2 a days and you're 4 hours apart because when it's
most definitely.
the morning time for one guy, I only get an hour in between my next practice. So we're gonna try hard. We're
Yeah,
gonna sacrifice time, and we're gonna do what we need to do to get this done. So appreciate y'all for
most definitely.
supporting us.
Appreciate y'all for supporting for sure. Follow us on Instagrams. Follow our page. Let's get it.
We'll put
See
all
y'all
that
next
down
episode.
there. Appreciate y'all.